Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Found But Still Lost. It is gearing up towards the last week of January, I think. Oh. And I thought maybe it was time that we talk about books. I love reading a good book, and I think I read about, I want to say 13 or 14 books this year, which isn't a lot. Like, it's like a book a month basically. But I was never a really good reader in school, but I just, got into it while I was an adult. So anyways, I thought we'd go through the books that I read last year, and I'll show you some of the books that I've picked up to read for this year. Of course, there's going to be more. I've just grabbed the ones that I've heard were good from last year from other people that I haven't read yet. So I'm going to start some laundry. We're going to go to a little bakery. We'll probably have to take Fitz for a walk at some point. And I'll show you the books that I read, and I'll give you a little bit of a synopsis and my thoughts, kind of like a little review on it, whether I'd recommend it or I wouldn't. So I hope you enjoy. Oh my goodness, you have to stop. Hi Fitz, are you gonna help me with some laundry? I know you like eating the socks, but I thought before I threw my laundry in, I'd show you my current book. I'm currently reading Mary Jane. It's a really good book. I don't really know how to describe it. Taya lent it to me, and she made it sound to me like it was similar to, oh my gosh, why can't I think of the name of the book that I love? Oh my god. Okay, so the book was called Daisy Jones and the Six. That's the book that Taya was comparing Mary Jane to. I don't really see the comparison other than it might have been in like the same time frame or era, but other than that, I think that's kind of where the comparison ends. I mean, there is a musician in the book, and it started off really strong. I was flying through the book, and now it's just like the same thing over and over again, and I kind of feel like I can anticipate what's going to happen. So I'm not loving it. I did at the beginning, but now that I'm only like 30 pages out, I'm bored of it, and I'm finding it really hard to finish. And I kind of feel like Fitz when I read it. Like I can't sit still. But honestly, it is a good read. I wouldn't read it again so far, but I'll tell you what I think when I get to the ending. I'll see how I feel at the end, but it is a good read. I would recommend it. It's light, it's easy. I think it's better just to keep plowing through it though, instead of like dilly-dallying like I did, because I got bored. But if I would have just kept reading it, I think I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna go throw laundry in. We're gonna go take the dogs for a walk. And then I'm gonna go to a bakery that I've been dying to go to. And then we'll talk books again. I forgot to film our walk, but it was actually such a good walk. It started off a little rocky, but then it got really good. And Fitz was such a good boy. Yeah, he was so good. Nixon was a good boy. Always is a good walk. Yeah. Yeah. Really good walk. You can be trouble, but you can be so good. Yes, you can be so good. You're cute, set? Yeah. Okay, so I made it to this little bakery that I wanted to try out, but I'm not sure I'm going to feel comfortable filming in here. It's pretty small, and it looks like there's lots of people. So I'll try just to like film a couple little clips because I'm a chicken. That was really good. Now I'm gonna go to HomeSense and buy Fitz a new toy that will hopefully keep him busy for a little bit longer. And then I'm gonna head home and we'll talk about more books. Okay, this might be the coolest coffee table I've ever seen. It's like soft in a cushion, and then it has 4 chairs that pull out. Oh. If only I had $400. That is so cool. We have a small house, and that would literally be perfect. Okay, guys, let's talk books. Hi. Oh no, did you get fuzzies out? I was trying. Okay, you gotta stop. Okay, come sit. Okay. Okay, so let's talk books. I kept a journal starting January of last year of the books that I read. So I'm just gonna kind of read my notes to you guys. So the first book is called Lucky, and I think either Taya or Kyra have it. But anyways, the book was called Lucky. It's by Marissa Stapley. And it was on the Reese Witherspoon's book club list, which I go to frequently when I don't know what I want to read. Usually I can find something on the list that's intriguing to me and something that I want to read. So I give it a try. Fitz is gonna cause trouble, but that's okay. This book had a few twists and turns in it. The main character, Lucky, struggles with morals versus how she was raised. She's a girl on the run, not knowing who she can trust. She was a winning lottery ticket holder, but she can't cash it in because she's on the run from... Oh, shit. It's... Fuck. You are so much trouble today. Don't touch it. Fitz, no. Don't touch it. Come here. Just in case you missed what Fitz was up to while I was talking, I thought I'd replay it one more time. Okay, so it turns out I can't do anything by myself while I'm home alone with Fitzgibbons. I barely cleaned that mess up, but... Whew, okay. Fitz, come on. Come here. Come on. Oh, I don't know if anyone gets the puppy blues, but that's where I'm at. Fitz is like 5 months old. He's driving me nuts. He needs constant attention, and I feel like I need a break. Anyways, let's get back to the Lucky book. So she's a girl on the run, but she has a winning lottery ticket, and she can't cash it in because when she does, she will most likely be arrested. So it's got a lot of twists and turns in it. I didn't really feel like I knew exactly what was going to happen in the book, so it kept me plowing through the pages, and I really enjoyed the book. So I think you'll enjoy it too. I'll post a picture of the cover on either side of me, and yeah, I would definitely read this book and recommend it. I might even read it again, to be honest. Like, it was a good book. The next book I read was Dark Roads. Kyra has this one, I think. Dark Roads by Chevy Stevens. I bought the book at Chapters. I loved the book. It was a total page turner. It was written by a Canadian author. And as a Canadian, I really hate saying this, but I don't usually enjoy Canadian authors. I don't know why, if it's our style of writing, the language we use, I don't know. I typically don't like Canadian writers, but this one I really love. Now the next book I'm sure you have heard of because everybody was talking about it last year. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And I'm pretty sure Taya has borrowed that one. And if not Taya, Kyra. This book had a lot of hype, and for the most part, it lived up to the hype. This book had me, after the first page, like, it just grabbed me and I loved it. I actually made myself slow down because I didn't want the book to end. Like, I could have read it probably in a couple days, but I really wanted to stretch it out. I love the main character, Evelyn, but I found myself screaming at her several times throughout the book. My heart broke for her, and I never saw what was coming at the end. I love the connection that her and the journalist Elizabeth had. I also enjoyed that the 7 husbands weren't the focus of the story, and the story was more about Evelyn herself, which I really liked. It was probably one of my, if not my favorite book of the year. The next book I read, I still don't have this one. I think someone took it too. It Ends With Us. I'm not the biggest Colleen Hoover fan, even though you'll see I have a couple Colleen Hoover books. I don't like how there's always a letter written. I believe that this one, yeah, it does. I'll read my notes before I go on. Okay, so this book had a lot of hype on TikTok, so I had fairly high expectations. I got pulled into the book quickly, but then the main character started writing letters to Ellen DeGeneres. I didn't care for that part. I honestly detested the letters and found them annoying to read, though those parts, I don't know, those parts I read through as fast as I possibly could. I just didn't really care for that style of writing. At one point, I thought maybe this book was meant for a younger audience, and maybe that's why I wasn't really like connecting to it. I never felt the urge to quit the book though, and I enjoyed all the parts that weren't letters. With about 50 pages left in the book, it got really good, and I couldn't put it down at that point. The book didn't leave me wanting more, but it left me satisfied, and it was a really good ending. The next book I read, which I also don't have, which is, all my books are lent out. Anyways, I will post a picture here or here, was The Downstairs Girl, written by Stacey Lee. Now, this was a book that was on Reese Witherspoon's Young Authors book list, which is kind of why I decided to read it. There hasn't been a book on Reese's list I didn't like until now. This one was based in Atlanta in the 1890s and details the life as a struggling immigrant. In a lot of ways, it was kind of like a Gossip Girl, or kind of like Bridgerton, if you watch that on Netflix. So that's kind of why I picked it up. I thought I would like it, but I really didn't like it. I kept reading it, but I rarely picked it up. I'd read a couple pages, I'd be bored, I'd put it down, and then I actually avoided reading for like a really long time, and I thought I have to quit reading the book because I'm not reading, and I love to read, so I quit reading the book. I didn't make it to the end. I would not recommend The Downstairs Girl. Okay, next was, oh my gosh, I really don't have any of my books here. I'm so sorry. Okay, the next was The Christie Affair, and it's written by Nina de Gramont. I hope I'm saying that right. I said in my notes, I'm not sure why I decided to grab this book, but I'm so glad that I did. The first 20 pages pulled me in. I fell in love with all the characters. Wow. I fell in love with all of their characters and their background stories. I love that the author didn't go overboard with describing the scene or characters. It left my mind room to come up with my own versions of what people look like and what the town looked like. I took my time reading this book, but I loved it from the beginning to the end. The story was so good. Both the adulteress and the jilted lover pulled you to each of their sides. Sometimes I was Team Agatha, sometimes I was Team Nan. I was never Team Archie ever. He was kind of a dick. But I rated this book, I put a score on it of 8 out of 10. And I would definitely recommend it. And again, it was called The Christie Affair. I loved it. Very good book. The next book I read was called Maybe in Another Lifetime, or In Another Life, written by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Taylor Jenkins Reid is one of my favorite authors, and that's why I picked it. I think this is the third book of hers that I've read. The book goes back and forth between two choices that the main character could have made. In the end, I found myself rooting for the guy that I thought would be best for the main character. This is one of those books that you wish wouldn't end, but you really want to get to the end so that you see what happens and what the character actually chooses. 10 out of 10 for this book. So I highly recommend Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Must read. The next book I read, oh, this one was really good too. I want to say this one was a 10 out of 10 for me too. And I know other people have mixed reactions with it, but I really enjoyed it. It was called Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus, I think. This book I started reading after my birthday. Taya bought this book for me for my birthday. It was on my birthday wish list, and I'm so glad she got it. I'll read the notes to you. This novel is my favorite book of the summer. Such a great read. I could totally vision or see the characters. I love how the author painted the perfect picture that I could clearly, easily see. From the words she wrote, I was constantly rooting for the main character. The book touches on women's rights, love, work, ethnicity, ethics, gossip, and family. I really hope that there's a sequel to this book. I really admired how the main character didn't give a shit what other people thought about her. She didn't gossip. She just did what she had to do. This is definitely the best book I've read in a long time. That was my notes. So another 10 out of 10 and another definite read. The next one I read was another Taylor Jenkins Reid book. It was called One True Loves. I'm gonna read the notes because honestly I don't really remember it, but I know I probably liked it because it was Taylor Jenkins Reid. From page 1, this book had me. The way Taylor Jenkins Reid describes the love between the main character and her husband just got me in the feels, which I ended up seeing things differently at the end. This book had me in tears more than once. The main character was brave, honest, and relatable. All three of the main characters were 100% likable. There was no bad guy or girl in the story that was filled with ups and downs mixed with, what did I put? Mixed with courage and something else that I can't read. 100 out of 100, great read. Might consider reading a second time. It was a really good book, and I don't know why I can't remember it that well, but it was a super good book, so I would definitely recommend One True Loves. The next book I read was Confess by Colleen Hoover. This book was kind of a slow start for me. However, it kept getting better and better. The main character at times annoyed me. I wanted to scream at her. Owen, however, was a wonderful character that I could totally picture in my mind. His art, his apartment, everything that had to do with him, the main character. Auburn made me feel like she needed a pity party and seemed weak until near the end. I didn't find her very likable, but like I said, near the end of the book, it started to bore me as I found it kind of predictable. It was an okay read, super easy read, and a quick read. I scored this one a 6 out of 10. It just didn't do it for me as much. But like I said, I am not the biggest Colleen Hoover fan. The next book I read in September was Carrie Soto is Back. Okay, this book, oh my God, is the first word I wrote in my notes. I cannot put this book down. I needed to know what was going to happen. I read every word. I hung on each sentence. This book is about a pro tennis player who was coached by her father as a young girl and became a pro. After Carrie retires, she decides to come out of retirement after 5 years to defend her record of most Grand Slam wins. Every character in this book, Every character in this book has their perfect place in the story and attachment to the main character. The ending was perfection. sad and happy and inspiring. I would highly recommend this book. It was so good. And I love how the author connected characters from another book and threw them into this book. Just little mentions, but it was really cool how she did that. Then the next book I read was called The Wish. This was an October-November book by Nicholas Sparks. I haven't read Nicholas Sparks in a while. This one did not disappoint though. I loved the flow of the book from present time to past memories. The book just flowed so effortlessly. I love the characters. I think the ending was a little bit predictable, but I was still reading fast to see what happened next. I found myself relating to the main character, Maggie, as I was young when I was pregnant with Taya, but that's where our similarities basically end. I can also relate to everyone thinking young love isn't real love. The actions of Maggie's mom and dad are so heartless, but in the end, I think Maggie's time spent with her aunt is what shaped her into the person that she grew into. I gave this book a 10 out of 10 as well. Okay. I think he must be teething because he really likes his soft stuffies, but he like blows them up in a day. Okay, the next book I read was like a November, December read, and it was called It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. This was a book that everyone was anticipating. It was a sequel to It Ends With Us. While I enjoyed the book, I found myself not really caring about what happened next. This book was extremely predictable. The twist with Atlas was helping to keep me interested. If I'm being honest though, I'm not the biggest Colleen Hoover fan, so I feel bad, but I can't like really recommend it. I reach for her books when I need an easy read and I don't feel like searching the shelves of the bookstore for something else. So she's just my, oh my God, I don't know what to get, but okay, this will do. I gave this book a 4 out of 10, and I know a lot of people might hate me for that, but I really did not enjoy the book. And I think that's it. I did read like a lot of other books earlier in the year, but I already did a book review in the summer. So I will link the video for that or put it in my description. But yeah, those are the rest of the books that I had read for 2022. And I will show you what's on my book list for next year. For this year, I guess, 2023. In a bit. I gotta get Fitz out of here. He's making a mess. And Matt just got home.
Look. Oh, hi. Oh, wow.
Oh, Fitty Bum. That we had a nice walk, didn't we? Yeah. I just got back from a walk with Fitzgibbons. Matt was working on a little project. I'll show you in a second. And I am making some soup that is a recipe from Half Baked Harvest. And it's a veggie soup that will eventually have tortellinis in it. It'll be creamy too. It smells really good. Sorry, there's lots of noise going on. The oven's on. Well, it's just warming up, so it's kind of loud while it warms up. And Matt's vacuuming the basement from his little project that he did, which is this amazing door. Look at it. I love it. It will keep Fitz from going in the basement or chewing our shoes on the stairs, and it just kind of keeps him a little more contained. And it's also good for keeping the heat inside. Okay, so as I said, Fitz and I just got back from our walk. Oh, and he's sleepy. Look at him back here. He has not been sleepy for like a week. So this is awesome. Anyways, I thought it'd be a good time to talk about the books that I plan on reading this year. And this is just the start. I can't afford to buy all my books at once for the year, so I do them in chunks. And some were gifted to me. They were put on my Christmas gift list. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna start with the The one that I thought I was going to read first is called Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. But I'm really not sure if I'm going to read this one. I started reading bits and pieces of the book just to see if it was something that I could get into, which is something I should have done at the store because I used a gift certificate to buy the book and I don't think I like it. So I'm going to see if I can return it. It's basically about a couple that meet up and I think they meet up at Harvard in their junior year and then they create some sort of game or app and I don't know, all this stuff happens, but I'm really not into gaming, so I'm not sure if I can get into it. I might just read a few more pages and see if I can, you know, get in there, but I don't know. The next one, and I think this is probably the one I'm going to start with, since I just finished reading Mary Jane, which, before I even talk about this book, which, by the way, I have to say, I finished, and I didn't give it rave reviews before I finished, but now I am, because it was really good, and I didn't really see the end coming together the way that it did, and I love it. Like, I think it would make a really good movie. Anyways, I highly recommend that book. It's called Mary Jane, and I showed it to you early in the video, but I would definitely recommend the book and buy it and read it, maybe even twice. Anyways, back to the book I'm going to read now. It's called Mad Honey, and it's by Jodi Picoult and Jennifer Finley Boylan. I think is how you pronounce it. I'll just read the synopsis or part of it. Olivia McAfee knows what it feels like to start over. Her picture-perfect life living in Boston, married to a brilliant cardiothoracic surgeon, raising their beautiful son, Asher, was upended when her husband revealed a darker side. She never imagined that she could end up back in her sleepy New Hampshire hometown, living in the house she grew up in, taking over her father's beekeeping business. Pumped for this one. This one came highly recommended, so I'm excited for that. Next is my, oh my god, I don't know what to read, author Colleen Hoover. I did hear that this one was pretty good, so we're gonna go for it. It's called Ugly Love. I'll read a little bit of the synopsis. It's not exactly love at first sight for Tate Collins when she meets the tormented and secretive Miles Archer. They wouldn't even go so far as to consider themselves friends. The only thing Tate and Miles have in common is mutual physical attraction that can't be denied. Once their desires are out in the open, they realize they might have stumbled on a perfect no-strings-attached arrangement. So it's going to be a sexy book. And then this book is a part one of a series. It is called Twisted Love, and it's by Anna Huang. And I don't know much about it. I've just seen these books literally everywhere, and they come in series. I think there's 3 in the series. I'll read the synopsis. I keep saying I don't like that. I feel like I sound like Justin Trudeau. Alex Volkuk is a devil blessed with the face of an angel and cursed with a past that he can't escape. Driven by tragedy that has haunted him for most of his life, his ruthless pursuits for success and vengeance leave little room for matters of the heart. But when he's forced to look after his best friend's sister, he starts to feel something in his chest. A crack, a melt, a fire that could end his world as he knew it. So that's just book 1. But those are, so far, I'm going to say my 3. I think I'm probably going to take back Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. That one, like I said, did come highly recommended, but I don't think I can get into it. But some of the reviews on the back of the book sound like good. And I should have read these too because it says that it's about gaming. Is there such thing as a great American gamer novel? Because if not, I believe Gabrielle Zevin just invented it. I don't think I can do it. I don't know. We'll see. I just don't feel like I'd be like up with the lingo and stuff, so. All right, snack time. Our leftover hors d'oeuvres from Christmas, except for the mac and cheese balls. These guys, those are from Trader Joe's. Those are new. But we're gonna have a snack. Matt's gonna stoke the fire. Fitz hopefully has a nap. Nixon's dead on the floor by the fire. It's been a lovely day. Ooh. Oh, I'm gonna have a sip of that. I think I'm gonna have water though. Oh, on a side note, I think I passed like 3 kidney stones, so I think I'm on the mend now. I don't know. I haven't seen a doctor about much of it, so I have no idea. I'm gonna try the mac and cheese bowl first.
Good?
A little cold. I feel like it should have been a little bit warmer.
These are good.
That's Farm Boy. These are actually really good. I think I'm gonna sign off. I've shown you my books. Matt's making the faces, and we're gonna eat some lunch. And I think I might bake some cookies for an upcoming event that you will see part of next week. I'm really, really pumped for this one. It's gonna be a good one. So you're gonna wanna subscribe so you don't miss out on what's gonna happen next week. Cause just next week alone is really awesome. Like totally freaked me out. I mean, all right.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.